Well, welcome everybody to WCW 2005 here in TEW 2020, as it's day 19 of the 31 days of May, which means it's time for the go-home shows for Slamboree. For Great American Bash, rather. My bad. But let's get rolling. As we open up, of course, after what happened last week, out comes Sean O'Haire and Bill... Well, no, actually, the show starts, and the announcers put over that Sean O'Haire and Bill Goldberg cleared the ring before the show could even start, and they're just waiting. And basically, they want, they both say basically they want Eddie out here right the hell now, and they want a real explanation, not the self-serving BS that Eddie said at the end of last week. And Eddie comes out, and he goes at the top of the ramp, and he's like, "You want to know the truth, Holmes? Well, the truth is in the back." But no, if you want to know more reasons, well, here we go. Let's go way back to, well, not quite to the beginning, but let's go back to the beginning of the last act here. I'm over in the other place, and let's be damn honest, here I was doing pretty great. But old Uncle Eric called me. He's so appreciative, so regretful, so filled with remorse. Doing anything on a bunch of old guys with a creative control and a guy who thought an 80-year-old birthing hand was absolutely fantastic TV essay. I gotta tell you, I was buying it. But the reality was, I wanted to come back. The place where I took my spot in this business was WCW, and I wanted to help it grow. I wanted to help it come back. I wanted to help save it from an ignominious end. So I really did. So I come back, and everybody knows what I did. But even after I have that belt, even after I have what I've desired ever since I've entered this wrestling business, I notice, Holmes, sure, a lot of Goldberg t-shirts, foam fingers, DVDs, action figures out there. But I'm told, no, don't worry, you're the man, Eddie. You got the belt. It just, the kids love him. The kids love him. But, you're our top guy. But I know that's not enough. I'm wrestling every damn night of the week, killing myself, defending that title all over the world, taking years off my career. But what do I begin starting here about? Nope, not Goldberg. A damn future shock. And then, I lose my belt. But before I can get a rematch, Sean, you're calling your shot and you're the champ. Then I get my rematch, but the odds are stacked. Come on. Did I really think I was going to take the belt off the new young hot superstar who was getting plastered all over TV? The odds were stacked, and then I'm done. But look, I understand you can't be champion forever. I move on. And I'm almost there when it comes to the Mayhem tournament. Then I get sidetracked. Young punks, old enemies coming back, showing up when I'm home, and such. But then, a few weeks ago, it's Slamboree. I'm being carried out after killing myself. What do I see as I'm getting patched up in the back? A commercial between matches for Nitro, and am I mentioned? No, it's all about U2 and Canyon. Now, here's the thing. I respect Canyon. Just like me, he scratched and clawed and did whatever he needed to do, rise to the top. Sure. He's all shiny and happy now, and dealing with the fans like he wants. So even if his head was rate, he got here the right way. But looking at that commercial, getting stitched up, feeling that knee in pain again, I realized right then, the places may change, but the BS never truly will. There will always be some white bread dork who spent too much time in a gym that the company wants to sell to a bunch of idiot children in Peoria, and even worse, brain-dead execs. And they'll never let true talent rise to the top. So, I gotta leave them no other option but Eddy Guerrero. For good. Tonight, I already agreed to a match with Bischoff, but it can't be against you two. Watch though. Remind yourself, this is who you're up against. I'm not some guy dressed in makeup talking about prophecy, Holmes. I'm not gonna come seated ass with a bunch of backup. It's just me. I'm Eddy bleeping Guerrero, except he didn't bleep. I've got no belt, but I'm still the best wrestler in the damn world. I'm going to prove it tonight. So there we go. Kind of a huge promo from Eddie, but still he's a heel because he insults the fans. He says he's above himself, and plus he makes fun of O'Haire and Goldberg. And O'Haire and Goldberg don't really respond. They just sort of still stare him down as he walks to the back. And this gets a 99 because Eddie's great. Everybody's over, and fun stuff. Then we cut to the back where Tracy Brooks, well, we're still just calling her Tracy at the moment, because I'm not sure if I want to keep her name, so she's just Tracy, is with Reckless Roberts and Austin Aries in the back, and this gets a 36. And yeah, probably should have strict them, but what can you do? Anyway, but Tracy's in the locker room with them both, and she basically tells them there's a tag match tonight, and if they can win, Reckless has agreed. The title match next week with Matt Sydal, and yes, we're announcing the Cruiserweight title match here, is a triple threat match, not a singles match. And, of course, because they're heels, Aries and Roberts start to argue, and Reckless says, he earned the shot, and he had to be convinced for a long time to possibly get up this match, so he better not, screw this up. Austin's like, I should begin this rematch one-on-one, but I'll let you in. And Tracy steps in and sort of says breathily, there's enough here for you to share. Yes, again, 2005, that's what we do. But 36, decent stuff as we move forward. And then we have an opening match where, no real story here. It's just two wrestlers in the ring who are sort of, stuck, not doing much at the moment. And, it's a quick match. And shockingly, Jason doesn't dominate. But, Reno gets his power spots in. But, Jet reverses, them near the end, hits a few big moves, and then hits a crash landing, which is not going to be the Styles Clash because, AJ Styles is there. And he gets the win. It's not he, there's some heel shenanigans. He, does some, something, hits a low blow late, or scratches some eyes, or does an eye poke, low blow, whatever. But in the end, he hits a big move, and he gets a pinfall victory here. A little over 6 minutes, it gets a 62. Jet gets a 70. Reno gets a 64. The match was hurt by a lack of storyline. I just know that, but it's still what it is. It's a perfectly solid opening match here to build up Jet. And Jet then takes the mic and says, he's sick and damn tired of the lack of respect here given to me, the man who is money, like nobody else in WCW. So, if not going to be given my respect, I'm damn sure going to take it. And then he walks away. And then we cut. Well, here's the thing. There's going to be a bunch of these segments, and I never seen comments about it, but I get the feeling somehow that you either love this darkness stuff, this dumb Deadpool stuff, or you absolutely despise it. Just like you either love the Bray Wyatt stuff or they despise it. But there's gonna be a lot of it in the show, and well, we just start out. So, Morningstar and Kai, we cut to Morningstar and Kai Graves, of course, not Morningstar Mesias, they're on team anymore, exploring the catwalk when a messenger arrives, aka current dev worker Mischief, dressed all in in a goth girl, setup there, and gives them a summons, and she tells them that, you're both expected at the nest, so follow this. And this gets a 59, because, it's a short promo. Hold on, I think I totally did rate. Yeah, okay. Well, could be a lot worse. Yeah, okay. Oh, whoops, I forgot to rate Raven off screen. Okay, well, again, I think this is also, yeah, okay. Shit happens, what can you do? Anyway, though, so now, Morningstar and Kai are going to have to go to the nest, wherever the nest actually is. And then we have a match where, of course, a couple weeks ago, we had the surprise debut of Evolution of Blaster Lashley and Claudio Cesaro, along with Ric Flair. And now they're up against Roman Legionnaires, as the Youngsters put over that, the Roman Legionnaires arrived here without Jonathan Toro, and nobody's been able to get a word with the Roman Legionnaires about where Toro has gone since he lost the Gladiator match at Slamboree. And this match is, it's not a total squash, Romeo and Swinger get a few, tag team moves in, but eventually, Claudio, hits a few big moves, hits a few big suplexes, European uppercuts. Blaster Lashley throws people around. Flair was at ringside, and eventually Lashley gets Romeo up. Dominator, 1, 2, 3, and a strong performance from Evolution tonight. As his link, it's 29 because, it's a couple non-over guys, as Lashley gets a 23, Cesaro gets a 48, Romeo gets a 46, and Swinger gets a 53. Flair did some good work at ringside, and post-match, of course, after last week, they're not very happy, so out come Lepin and Tolan to brawl with Lashley and Claudio. Flair comes in, and to try to help. But, eventually Dom Marie jumps on her back, Flair slams her down, W specials come out, but it seems like these two men are not very happy with each other. As this gets a 59 as well, because we'll actually rate it, everybody. So there you go. And then we move forward for the next part of the show. As then we have basically, like, we see Kai and Morningstar leave a black, of course, Lincoln Town car, and a long Cadillac, and they're at the address they were given, and it's not a broken down house. It's not some mysterious, graveyard. It's a club, and we see the lettering called the Nest, and they're let inside, and people, some extras are there, and they're dressed in sort of gothy 2000 mid 2000-ish styles, look, and they're about to start a fight because they're just pissed at given a wild goose chase when sort of like the club screen, that sort of like has like random videos come up, it lights up and it's Raven, and he says, "Welcome to the Nest. We're expecting a dusty dark room. True depravity and destruction can only happen with consent, as all these people are doing. Embracing the nothingness and despair, and knowing that nothing else is happening. There is no message, Morningstar. The prophet is real, and he will be revealed, though, but not yet. Now you will deny, delay, and have to deceive the truth. But near the end, you will accept it." And then the, sort of message goes off, and Morningstar and Kai start going through the crowd, pushing people away, trying to find Raven still. As this gets a 72, which solid stuff. And then we cut backstage where Eric Bischoff is in his office, and in comes Alex Wright, the former United States champion after losing last week to Mike Awesome and Tori Wilson. And basically, Wright comes in and says, "After what happened last week with Awesome, I want to prove myself. I want that match with Eddie tonight. I know he's not busy." And Eric's like, "How do you know somebody else hasn't already taken it?" And Tori steps and says, "Bischoff, we know how you work, okay? We've got the chosen few are all busy, so the people who don't like them are busy. We got the matches that already just happened. Hart Legacy are facing off against Helms and Tomko. You're not going to throw in a big match like Goldberg or O'Haire. So Wright's your choice, and you know it. So you need Wright, so just give him the shot." And Bischoff says, "Well, you're not totally right, but you're close enough, so fine. If you want to get in that ring with Guerrero tonight and prove yourself, so be it. Good luck." And this gets to 68 as we sort of build up the main event. Well, not quite the main event. Well, I guess it's the main event tonight. So there you go. I hate this doesn't go right. Then we have our tag match, which unfortunately only gets a 44 because of the pre-show. But I hoped a couple of these guys would be hot enough that it wouldn't matter. But hey, this is just a straight ahead steel show match. You have half of the babyface team. We have the WCW Cruiserweight Champion Mike Sydal, team with Great Suzuki, and they fly around and they look impressive. But Aries and Ruth actually work. Well, okay, that's Suzuki. If only you weren't working at Empro like 80% of the time, you'd be great here. So Sydal and Suzuki are actually quite impressive as a team, as Aries and Robert are doing heel shenanigans, trying to keep them down, and also barely getting along, hard tagging to each other. But eventually, Sydal and Robert basically brawl, fight to the outside of the ring. Aries hits a low blow, hits the Brainbuster of Doom, goes up top and hits the 450 on the Great Suzuki after a little over 8 minutes, and gets a pinfall victory after several big moves by both teams beforehand. And like I said, this gets a 44, Robert gets a 53, Aries gets a 48, Suzuki gets a 54, Sydal gets a 54. So yeah, 10, 20, 3. So yeah, probably yeah. So those hurt by about 8 points because of the pre-show workers penalty. But hey, the only way you can people not part of the pre-show is actually have them on TV and get them over. So there you go. And it looks like Aries and Roberts are going to take out Sydal even further after the match, when out comes Eric Bischoff. And Bischoff comes out, to the top of the ramp and says, he jokes about, I wonder how you got this deal done, Tracy. But regardless, it's a good idea. It'll draw ratings. It's a good big title match for next week. But he didn't truly think this through. I can make this even better. Because the reality is, look, eventually you two, as he points to Aries and Roberts, would have tried to take each other out to actually win the title next week in that triple threat. But I've got a way to make it even more fun. And he sort of signals to the back, and out comes a ladder. Yes, that's right. Next week, the Cruiserweight title is on the line in a triple threat ladder match between Matt Sydal, Austin Aries, and Reckless Roberts. One man will climb to the top and prove he is the Cruiserweight champion. So there we go, 53. Set that up, and yeah, that's set up for next week. Big triple threat match, as you know. So there we go. And then we have our next part, as we have basically Morningstar and Kai have cleared out the sort of the floor of the, of the dance part of the club here. And then Mesias arrives. He goes after Kai, and they brawl out of the scene. And Morningstar sort of is yelling out, promising a conflagration is coming, and Raven will be shown to be the deceitful fool that truly is. And then Raven appears back on the screen and says, climb to the top of the nest, and then you will accept the truth. Assuming that's where Raven is, Morningstar starts actually climbing up sort of the screen part to where you can sort of see a room. As Mesias and Kai are seen occasionally running into some obviously local jobbers who gets thrown around before they continue to fight again, and maybe we'll see a confrontation between Raven and Morningstar. I'm assuming since he's there on the video screen, but we'll have to see as this gets to 75. And then we have an interesting matchup as it's put over that, after Gigantes came out to save the Truth and Brother Ray last week, Jeff Jarrett immediately went to Eric Bischoff and asked him for a match. And, seeing what that could be, Bischoff immediately agreed. So here we are. And look, it's not a long match because this is the very definition of a wacky, mayhem mid-card match. As basically, almost immediately what you have here is, Jindrak and Divine are on the outside. It's a brawl right from the start as Gigantes throws Jarrett around, but Jarrett gets back up, does some heel shenanigans, but eventually, Jindrak comes, is posing at ringside, yelling at Gigantes, and that distracts him just long enough for Jarrett to get back on offense, hitting a few, going after the knee of Gigantes, cutting the monster down. But eventually, Gigantes is back on offense, and that's when, there's a rough bump, of course, as Gigantes is, throws Jarrett, but the ref is in the way. Jindrak distracts again. Divine comes in, hits sort of a springboard DDT on. Well, he tries. Yeah, he just drops Gigantes with a chair shot from behind. Nails him with a couple super kicks with the chair. He rolls out. Gigantes is stumbling. Jarrett drills him with a guitar, hits a stroke. Ref recovers. 1, 2, 3. This gets a 70. Jarrett gets an 88 because he's goddamn great. And, he probably should be the top heel, or at least one of my top heels, but Eddy's right there, giving him the world champion. So here he is. Honestly, this is a world where Jeff Jarrett in 2005 is actually being probably slightly underpushed. But hey, what can you do? But yeah, fun stuff. And of course, post-match, Gigantes is very, 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 very angry. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe I did that. I accidentally picked Mark Johnson instead of Mark Jindrak. Okay, that's supposed to be Mark Jindrak, even though that kind of works because he's probably a ref. But regardless, Gigantes is angry, and Jindrak and simply Johnny Divine pay the price, getting drilled with choke slams as he stares down Jarrett, as it seems like this feud is far from over, as this gets a 67. Probably would have been higher if I would have put Jindrak and not, the ref in there. Ha ha ha. Then we cut back one more time as Kai and Mesias continue to brawl in the background. Like we sort of see them throwing, over tables, against the wall, fighting, getting other people involved just to killify them. When Morningstar opens up a door at the top to a lavish office, but nobody's there except Raven there is on a TV screen, and he just sort of laughs and says, "Did you really think it'd be that easy, Morningstar? I know you have a flair for the dramatic, but here's the thing. I did fib a bit. This is the nest, but it really isn't the nest. See, this is the nest." As we see a map quickly pop up with some coordinates on a screen. Now go there, and you'll find the true nest, where it all began. Quote the Raven, nevermore. So there, we have one more place for Mesias and for Graves and Morningstar to go, as this gets a 78. And then we have our tag match, of course, set up last week, as Shane Helms and Tomko, were basically challenged by Hart Legacy. And this is a tale of two matches. Basically, it's a high quality, US Pro, indie style cruiserweight match when Helms is in the ring. Helms plays, honestly, sort of like plays a bully heel. Like, he has a slight size advantage here, so he uses that. Hits some big suplexes, takedowns, like sort of like, gets to play, the bigger bully heel here as Hart Legacy eventually has some, big tag team moves to take him down. But, eventually, Helms, Tomko does come in, and this is when the match basically becomes Hart Legacy hitting big-time double team moves to even survive against Tomko as he just throws him around. Eventually, Evans hits several big moves in a row, and it actually looks like he's going to get the huge upset when Helms drills him with a super kick from out of nowhere. That allows Tomko to hit the Tomko cutter, but Hart actually comes in and hits a big, wacky springboard move to break up the fall. Things break down. Eventually, Hart is a legal man, and Hart isn't even the legal man. The ref just gets lost control, but Tomko has him ready, attacks him, big boot, big slam, cutter, pinfall right in the middle of the ring as Helms and Evans actually brawl on the outside. 1, 2, 3. Helms and Tomko pick up the big victory here over the Hart Legacy in a little over 12 minutes. This gets an 82. What I basically expected when because these guys were involved in an 89 tag match. Helms has had some great matches, but then Tomko is Tomko. And that makes sense. So Tomko got a 44, Helms got an 85, Evans got an 82, Hart got an 82. I'm guessing that's partly because of the type of match and partly, let's see, what actually did hurt them, because they've been doing better. Inconsistency for Evans. Okay, that makes sense. And post-match, of course, Helms cockily celebrates as Tomko stands beside him, as the announcers put over, you may not like it, but at this moment, the number one contenders on Nitro may seem to be Shane Helms and Titus Tomko. As his little post-match segment gets a 72. Then we have our Revolution recap, focusing, of course, on Celine Cartier getting the big win over Nikita Colt, and Rob Van Dam, the whole four-way mess. That gets a 73, and then I believe it's time for our main event. Oof, okay, not as good as I was hoping for. I was actually hoping for a mid-80s here, but, oh well. This happens. Not the best show in ring, but a very pretty good show as far as angles go. But yeah, what this is Eddy being Eddy, right, doing his best, but, Eddy doesn't even really cheat here, like he does, like, slight Guerrero, shenanigans, but, like, he eventually just takes over and reminds everybody why he was a huge signing, why he, main event at Starrcade, and why he still is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Eventually, Wright does sort of go for the big DT late, but Eddy gets out of it. Eddy hits the Blue Thunder Bomb, hits the Amigos, eventually goes up top, Frog Splash, 1, 2, 3, nothing for Wright to do except get pinned, and there you go. 80 match, so, could have been better, could have been worse. Eddy gets a 92, Wright gets a 72. Honestly, I probably have to rebuild Wright again as he's sort of become like a mid-card jobber. But yeah. So, as you expect, down comes Goldberg and O'Haire to go after Eddy. When out of nowhere, as Goldberg is almost to the ring, Somebody jumps the ring and goes right after O'Haire, and it ends up being Don Fry. Fry just like tackles O'Haire down and really they start going him with punches, and that strikes Goldberg just long enough for Eddie to hit tope on him. W officials try to break everybody up as the announcers try to put over, is this a new alliance? Did Don Fry just take his spot? What the hell is going on tonight? As this gets a 91, and then sort of as our post show, as the credits sequence is popping up, we see where Morningstar and Graves have arrived, and this time they're at something that seems more like the Nest. As it's basically an old estate mansion, grown over weeds, dingy gates, the whole deal. And the same woman from last time is there, and she says, "You've been welcomed. Everything is now forfeit if you enter," and that's our show. As this gets a 69, and overall the show itself gets a, whoops, hold on, let's try it again. 86. Okay. So yeah, those two great angles saved us. I'm just gonna be honest here. Matches wasn't much, but hey, that's sometimes what you got to do as you're building things up. So let's see. I'm going to guess we got killed by Raw. Hey, it's Incognito. But yeah, solid show. I mean, again, you're either enjoying the wacky stuff I'm doing with the Deadpool, with Mesias, Morningstar, and all of them, or you think it's absolute crap. Which hey, I'm fine with. Kind of one wacky angle in pro wrestling, right? And yeah, Eddie coming back, being sort of again, he's not going to be doing a shoot heel stuff all the time. It's just something I sort of came to me as I was thinking of what his explanation actually would be. And Goldberg and O'Haire are back to basically hopefully more present top tier baby faces, and Keennan's still around, so we'll have to see what he does. Let's see here, mail wise. Right, okay, I'll have to deal with that. There is a slight spoiler there. Hopefully no one noticed. Well, first, okay, so for Nitro, we got a 2.82. And Raw got a, oh, they're still overseas, so the ratings don't make any sense. God damn it. All right, so let's go over the show. CM Punk's on the pre-show. Shinko defeated Elizabeth Love. Michaels and Lesnar brawled. Al Snow, Justice, and Hawk defeated Orton and Little Fellas. Weirdly, I don't know, because there wasn't any news about Orton cheating with anybody or any backstage stuff. Just interesting. Vampire defeated Christian in a cage match, got an 85. Edge defeated Taker, DDP, and Regal at a 99. Sure. Lesnar defeated Kane in a tables match at 92, and again Triple H, Jericho versus Benoit and Big Show got a 99, because of course it did. Yeah, nothing else really of note. Negro Costas versus Black Warriors, the storyline. Cool. But yeah, I'll be back in just a moment with Revolution. All right, and now it's time for Revolution, and a little spoiler. This is a very go home show. What I mean by that is lots of tag matches, angles, videos. This is there's 3 days before the pay-per-view. We don't want to screw anything up, and that means something bad will happen. But hey, let's get rolling with the show. We start with a announcement of a big main event tonight of a huge 8-man, as it's going to be basically Rob Van Dam, AJ Styles, Paul London, and Kane Anderson taking on Jamie Knoble, Cash, Chuck Palumbo, and Monty Brown, and a huge 8-man to main event tonight, as this gets a 74. And then we go to our opener, which is the team of Captivation of Lexi James, Angel Fox, and Lizzie Dumas taking on Natty Nart and the Social Scene. And here, basically, this is kind of a match to reheat the Captivation a bit, and also sort of put over the storyline of that Social Scene have arrived, but they're here, but they're maybe just not quite ready, as the heel team sort of team together, and they're a 3-woman unit. And Natty Hart is, a tough competitor, but she's not a full-time team with either Lila, or with either Annie or Nikki, and that allows the heels to take over. And eventually, Lizzie Dumas nails Natty Hart with the moonsault to get the basically clean pinfall win. There's heel shenanigans with tags and such, but she just gets the win here. As it gets a 61, Dumas gets a 65, Angel Fox gets a 61, Lexi James, who's still running behind for weird reasons, is at a 50, And you have Vidal's at a 50, Nikki Radcliffe gets a 45, and Nair's at a 42. And Eddie's somebody else who got sort of like lost in the morass of the cards that was bringing up new people and pushing gap. But hey, whole new year, right? Post match, as the heels are celebrating, out comes Roni Jonah and Lila Vivaz. Captivations are like, why are you coming out here? We kicked your ass before, we'll do it again. And Roni Jonah's like, we're here to fight and rock. And so if you're really ready for a fight, then we'll have a partner at Great American Bash. You three come over, and we'll see who can really captivate the audience. Eventually, the heels agree, and we have a 6-woman match to, honestly, round out the card at Great American Bash. As, like, sort of, it's going to be interesting how I sort of, like, book these cards now. Like, especially because, like, the first couple cards were weirdly, like, helped out by them being like sort of gimmick shows, because like January was the Mexican show, then March was the Japanese show, and this is sort of like the first real cycle of having to consistently book these big shows with limited rosters. Anyway, especially like because Revolution, again, like I like both shows. Revolution has like the women's roster on it, which makes things interesting as far as like building up the card. Anyway, I'm rambling now. 48, again, not the best, but what can you do here? It is what it is. Again, gotta give people time to build themselves up if you want them to never be anything that the crowd cares about, right? And Lexi's gimmick is getting stale, which is something I will note and change. All right. Maybe that's why she's getting 50s. Anyway, then we have the first of 2 segments here, as this is a Gail Kim, like, okay, we've all seen these videos on WWE pay-per-views as they make up time because they're showing, ads on, Singaporean or French or whatever TV is showing the pay-per-views. It is, but it's, in this case, it's putting over, basically Gail Kim is training hard for the Iron Woman match at the pay-per-view. We see her, running the steps on the heavy bag, lots of, sit-ups, various other things, fighting in the ring, doing some like kickboxing, hard punches, takedowns, cut to her running again, sweating, lots of stuff, as just really, putting over the work she's putting in to keeping her WCW Women's World Championship as it gets a 92. Because, she is a heel, but she's also sort of like the veteran of the division, and, she's a really great, maybe not great, but really good wrestler. And then we have a first of 4 promos here, building up sort of like the 4-way match, building up the tag match tonight and the Fatal 4-way match, as basically, RVD is cutting a promo, but like he's talking about how like, I'm the only world champion that's going to be in that ring on Sunday. I'm now Mr. Wednesday Night. And the reality is, I'm not thinking about this match. I'm thinking about what's in the future for me. I'm going to prove to the fans out there that I'm still RVD. I'm still going to be the champion once again sooner than later, man. And then, like, before, like, even the promo came out, he's back on his phone. As this gets a 78. And then we have a promo backstage where European Disunion are backstage with Celine Cartier. Basically they come out saying, yeah, fine. You won last week, Fraulein, but you don't have a partner. Like, all the other little girls are busy. We've been the dominant tag team for a reason. Because we're an actual team. We work together. We live together. We train together. We do everything together. Because we are women's wrestling in this company. And Cardi's like, I understand. But I compete strongly too. And yes, you do everything together. But I know, because I've defeated you both, I can defeat you. But if you want a partner, fine, I'll have a partner. A partner that's ready to make her statement here in WCW. And in comes all that Alyssa Alexander as Celine Cartier's promos, and sort of the heels laugh at that. Like, okay, that's, I guess, just this guy has a world title match and everybody else is busy, so you bring in the rookie. Well, looks like Sunday's going to be nothing special. And that leads to a challenge that's going to be Wesena Busic versus Alyssa Alexander later tonight. This gets a 77, solid stuff, and yeah. And then we have a Monty Brown promo. He basically says he is going to rise to the top. He is going to run through, wreck, tear, and destroy anybody that gets in the way. Because he is the alpha male of WCW. And he will rise to the top tonight. And not only will tonight be a preview, Fatal 4-Way, nobody, not Styles, not Rob Van Dam, not even Palumbo, better stand in his way. 83, good stuff. And then we have a sort of like preview of the tag match at the pay-per-view and a TV title match, as it's Lance Storm versus James Storm. Yes, I did that for the joke. I'm sure like sort of half this match is just the various announcers making some jokes about, Storm warnings and such. But it's also a solid match, as Storm is a rising young star. Storm is a very talented guy. Again, like probably on the under pushed list, right next to guys like Jarrett and Kaz. But he's TV champion now, and back and forth match, and eventually both of the Chris Harris and Mike Osmond is there. Eventually, there's distraction by both ends, but Lance eventually takes advantage, works on James' knees, has him in the Canadian Maple Leaf, but James fights out of it. Actually hits a cradle of his own for a near fall, but then Awesome distracts the ref, which allows basically April Hunter to get up on the apron. James Storm goes over to her, and that allows low blow, roll up, Lance Storm to get the pinfall win and make defense number 2 of his world television title, as it gets an 80. Lance Storm gets an 86, James Storm gets a 77. And then post-match, we have a showdown, as basically, AMW takes Mike and says, we're 3-time tag team champions for a reason, just like you guys are. We've both been the best in the world. And we're not going to say any BS about you not earning the titles. Because that was the rules of Assault of Anarchy. You climbed to the top and grabbed them, but deep down, you gotta get in this ring and beat us. And if you think you're going to do that, sorry about your damn luck. And Storm basically says, I'm the best techno wrestler in this business. Awesome, still the king of extreme. And you think what happened to Assault of Anarchy was in any way not a complete showing of our abilities. Well, you're going to be surprised at Great American Bash. So there you go. Still tag titles pushed. Honestly, I sort of didn't really push. I mean, I guess I pushed it at the beginning with then sort of I lost it because Storm and Awesome doing their thing. But it sort of sells itself. It's 2 of the best tag teams. And we're just tag champs. Storm and Awesome won the tag belts. You don't really need to push that match. But then we have something really big here, as we have a contract signing after we come out for commercial between Billy Kidman and Booker T. Booker comes down to the ring first as the babyface with Sharmell. Then Kidman comes down, with the title. Tenay, asked, Booker T, and Booker T says, Sucker, not Sucker, Sucker's a whole other thing. Sucker is almost done. The time for talking is done. And here's the thing. Kidman, I get it. I used to be in your spot. I was so hungry, so desperate to be at the top. I would have done anything to do it. Because I felt that I was the one not given the shots, not given the opportunities, not given anything. So I listened to a fool, and yes, I became champion. But it never really felt true. The first true time I felt the world champion, when I beat Steiner at Starrcade. I'm going to say it was perfect after that, and everything I've done since then has been great. But what I realize now is when I get in that ring, I should only be doing it for one thing only. And that's eventually becoming a 7-time WCW World Champion. Kidman, I'm not telling you you're not a great wrestler. But you think you're the best damn thing today, running today. And you're simply not. I am that guy. And at Great American Bash, your run is over, Billy. Billy comes back and says, Booker, I could say a lot. I can insult your past. I can insult your brother. I can insult your wife. But I'm not going to do that. That's not what this is about. Because personally, here's the reality, Booker. I don't dislike you. I could, do what it says in These Idiots Fan Will Boo You and boo me and cheer you, and everybody would be happy. But I've got no reason to hate you. I've already proven I'm the best wrestler in the world. I shut everybody down. You're just another person in my way to truly prove to everybody I am not only the best cruiserweight of my generation, I'm the best wrestler of my generation. And Booker, even though our ages may be a little bit apart, we're part of that same generation. When you were fighting for the TV title, I was in cruiserweight matches. We rose together. We got involved in the same dumb actions, desperate for getting to the top. And now we're here, at the pinnacles of our careers, as WCW is back to its past glory. But here's the difference. I'm not going to stop for a moment. If you're going to defeat me in that ring on Sunday, Booker, you're gonna have to be at your very, very best. And the question is, can you still do that? Now, can you dig that? And there's a stare down. Both men actually sign, and there you go. So yeah, I wanted to do something different because like there wasn't like any heavy angles here. Like same thing with sort of the tag titles. Like I honestly sort of, I probably because the heavy angle was like Ray getting through the windshield, and honestly Booker probably should have been more upset about that. But like they never been best friends, and like he was just a heel. So like he was just a heel a couple months ago, so he can't be like valiant babyface. Like if it was like O'Haire, I could maybe do that. But like this was not exactly tweener because Kidman's like still a bastard heel. Like 90% of the crowd hates because it's 2005. Smarts aren't quite smarts like us aren't in the crowd quite yet. And Booker's the strong veteran babyface going for another run. But like there's no point for heavy heat. This is just two men at the top of their careers battling for the title, and we'll see who walks out as a champion. This is Gazing 99. And then we have an AJ Styles promo, again putting over the big 8-man tag, saying he's going to prove it tonight, just like he proves every single night in that ring. He is going to be the face that runs this place. And after Great American Bash, there will be no question, this isn't about the future. This is about the now. So 79, decent promo. And then we have our big women's match, and kind of disappointing. Yeah. Well, okay, I forget Alexander's not that over. So, back and forth, like sort of like mat-based match as Busic is continuing trying to get Alexander into various submissions, but Alexander gets out of it, hits some big moves of her own. And eventually there's a back and forth. Busic tries to get her into a, rear naked choke. Alexander actually powers out of it, hits a few big suplexes, hits a big knee, huge German suplex, spine buster out of nowhere, then traps her with a Kudo driver, which I'll have to look up, and gets a shock pinfall victory over one half of the tag team champions. So there you go. Cartier shows up. Both women basically, make the belt motions, and it's going to be a big tag team match at Great American Bash for the women's tag team championships. Gets a 62. And then, okay, yeah. So again, just because like I had the opportunity to, and I just wanted to see what how much Raven Mesias would hurt him, and it's enough that she's going to continue to be not rated and just sort of do random stuff. But anyway, again, pretty typical heel promo. Palumbo says, bit by bit, every single night, I prove I run Revolution, and after tonight, it's going to be no different. And after Sunday, it's going to be no different. Van Dam, you're not going to show up and take my place. AJ, you're still not ready. And Monty, it's just business, buddy. But I'm going to walk out as the number 1 seed with a bye, and one of you is going to be out of the tournament. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's not going to be me. 73, decent little stuff here, and I think it's, yeah. Then we have our, okay, here's my only real wacky segment, as basically we see sort of a VTR of Keenan Sharpe sort of like at a sort of like not skeezy, but sort of like oh god, I'm freaking the like I'm not Amway. Oh god, like sort of like a self-improvement seminar as part of the path, and like sort of like selling it as a lecture, like you all need to follow the path behind me so you can do the right thing in your lives and not become another generation of losers, malcontents, and self-absorbed morons who not realize the true path that they could be on. And then in unlocks Chris Roxy, basically playing the dumb jock babyface who just wants a good time. And he's like, come on. Do you guys really want to listen to this self-conceited asshole tell you how to live your life? Or do you actually just want to live your life? Come on. I know you're here because you think you're going to do something. He's going to give you some secret to life. But here's the secret to life. Just do what you want when you want and have a good time. You're all young, so let's get out there and and do some shots. Keenan, and everyone says, what the hell are you doing in my seminar? I paid for this room. These people paid good money to hear me speak, to walk along the path. And Roxy's like, it's a free country, man. And then, it looks like there's going to be a fight on, but that's before we see Roxy says, look, man, I'm not going to fight this here. Anybody who actually wants to have a good time and not feel bad about their choices today, come follow me to the bar. And actually, a few people do, as Sharpe looks upset. And again, this is sort of like a wacky undercard angle, but it's fun stuff. 64, good stuff. And then, 86, really? Oh, I guess, yeah, okay. Interesting, wow, Gail actually did better than Trisha. Anyway, this is sort of like the same training, sort of the same basic thing, only like it's, Trisha, doing some more heavy workouts, possibly some different angles shown because this is 2005. But same basic training video sort of puts over how hard they're both working to last the 30 minutes in the Hour Woman match that's coming up at the Great American Bash. 86, straightforward. Again, it's a go home show. What can you do? And then it's time for our main event, which gets a 90 as it is a pre-pay-per-view 8-man tag of doom. And like this is just some, this is just it's not a spot fest, but it's everybody like sort of getting their shit in. Anderson does some fighting, hits the sort of what is it, Green Bay plunge, polar bear plunge. Oh god, I'll have to double check what its name. But like he hits his plunge actually on Cash, but Knoble comes on Cash, but Knoble comes in. Lyndon flies around. Lyndon and Styles do some tag team work together that looks impressive. Van Dam is sort of like just like aloof, like he gets in the ring and he looks good anytime he's in the ring. Brown throws people around. Cash plays bully cruiserweight with most of the people on the other team. Fights a little with Anderson. Knoble tries to continually lock people in hold, but gets kicked out. Palumbo does some brawling, and eventually things break down as they do, and the match is called basically as it says a double count out, but I just don't want to do sports entertainment finish again. As this gets a 90. Van Dam gets a 93, Styles gets a 91. Paul London, who joins the room of people I'm under pushing, along with Kaz, Jeff Jarrett, and Lance Storm with an 88. Ken Anderson with a 72. Jamie Knoble with an 84. Cash with a 77. Monty Brown with an 84. And Chuck Palumbo with a freaking 90. Fun stuff. Anderson was off his game. And then we just have the fight continues with a 98. And that is our show as the Enters, put over. This is basically just a couple minute segment for the Enters put over the show coming up on Sunday. And overall, this gets us a 92. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed sort of looking at that as sort of like, okay, what's a show that just sort of sells the pay-per-view? There you go. We got our 6-woman sort of undercard match set up. We pushed the Iron Woman aspect of the match. Had one final showdown between the tag title competitors, and put everybody in the big matches in a big tag match. Had our contract signing, and there you go. There's the pay-per-view. So let's see here. Male again. Revolution. Okay. Cool. So actually, I'll just do this now. So pre-booking. This is most of our show. There's still a six-woman tag, which is going to be Captivation versus Leva Bevez. Ronnie Jonah and a 6-woman. Honestly, it might be a debut. It might not be. That's me deciding. But outside of that, of course, we've got AJ Styles versus Monty Brown versus Chuck Palumbo versus Rob Van Dam in a fatal four-way match where the winner will get the number 1 seed and a bye in the first round of the Mayhem tournament, while the loser is completely out of it. We've got America's Most Wanted versus Awesome Storm for the WCW World Tag Titles. Cash versus Paul London, going from when they, met up in a tag match. Jamie Noble versus Ken Anderson in an I Quit match. Celine Cartier and all that Alexander going for the WCW Women's Tag Titles against European Disunion. Patricia Sky versus Gail Kim in an Iron Woman match for the WCW Women's World Championship. And, as I said, Booker versus Billy Kidman for the WCW World Championship. So, should be a really good show. Like, there's some stuff on there that might actually, like, I don't think anything going to, like, go as good as the Assault of Anarchy match or RVD Kidman, but still some really good shows on there, I think. Anything of note today? Let's see, Independent Wrestling from New York. Julio Jenner versus Nick Burke. Okay. Julia Jenner's. Okay. Actually, okay, let me see here. Okay, he's just really over in the Tri-State, but I mean, he's not terrible. Like, I probably wouldn't actually ever bring him up because, like, yeah. Problem is that charisma microphone and that star quality. Like, everything else, like, yeah. I mean, if I brought him in, he turned to a jobber. A cruiserweight jobber, most likely. Anyway, though. So, let's go over what happened in the rest of the wrestling world. So, WWE, of course, had SmackDown. And SmackDown had Amber James ending Jamie Key's Women's World Championship reign. So she got the win here. It was a dog collar match. I'm sure it was actually in reality something else it's a lot more sleazy. But Amber O'Neal / Amber James is your new Women's World Championship. We had Stevie Richards and Justice and Hawk defeat Randy Orton and the Little Fellas in a tables match. We had Big Show defeat Mark Waterman. Molly Hall defeated Shaniqua. Chris Benoit defeated Kane in 97, because of course they did. Undertaker defeated Vampiro in 99, sure, and Brock Lesnar and Edge defeated William Regal and Triple H. And we also did have something else interesting happen with the WWE as Scott Hall left Top Shelf, which is my sort of like meta WCW stable that they made, and now William Regal is part of it as they turn Scott Hall face. So there you go. And then if we go to our DevFed, Wildside TV, let's see here. So Austin Creed showed up, and I did sign him to a dev deal for one main thing, because in real life, he did start in NWA Wildside as well. So I think it's fine that in this reality, he probably, he started there, he got trained there, and then he was part of the power plant pretty soon. Or I guess this is because they're doing stuff at MGM Studios, so I think, again, slightly unrealistic, but he's nowhere close to being ready. No, he could be something eventually, but he's not going to show up on Nitro next week or anything. And here he defeats Chance Prophet, Matt Cross defeats Dagan Biggs, Ray Gordy, Ortiz and Daz defeat Onyx, Cole and Morgan, and TNT defeat Lazarus and Cassie O'Reilly on TV. And then on the weekly house show, we have Siaki, Cole, and Morgan defeat June Jones, Drago, and Daz. Rick Michaels defeat Dyke Briggs. Rayman defeat Chance Prophet. And yeah, that's about it for all that matters on here. Over on beautiful AWQ, let's see here. We got American Wrestling Queens. We got weekly show. We had Amazing Kong defeated Net Blanchard and Madison Eagles. Amazing Kong's getting there slowly. She might show up on TV event not that long. Mischief and ODB and Michelle McCool defeat Tracy Taylor and Meg Woman. Yeah. There's women on here that I'm probably just going to let their contracts run out because I got no spots for them. We got Kim Nielsen defeated Carla Chambers, who's a regen. Becky Bayless defeated Madison Sinclair. And people it's interesting. And then the main event, Ariel defending her newly won AW Championship, defeated Malaya Osaka. So fun stuff. And then if we go to the HWA for the weekly show, let's see here. Sean Davari defeated Andre Shear. Dan Ronmer defeated Barry Bradburn, who's a regen. Jamie Jacobs, Ricochet Page, and Corey Castle defeated Excalibur, Drew Onyx, and David Young. Right? Yeah. Silas Young. Oh, right. You're hurting. Then, yeah. Ray Steele defeated Alex Shelley and Douglas in a cage match, and that's it there. Then if we go to OVW, we have, let's see here, we have Chuck Larry defeat Trailer Park Trash, sure. Capitol and Shark Boy defeat John Morrison and Ross Haas, again, okay. The Samoans defeat Sean Casey and Rick Fox. The First Bloodline. Let's see here. The Ward and Sarah Stock defeated Bitch Slap. Bradley and Pooter then defended the tag titles against the great team of Tony Mamluke and Shaggy Shudope. And Joey Matthews defeated Ron Conway. And then we had the Saturday show, which had Rory Fox, famous from MTV, defeated John Cena. And if you don't know what that's in reference to, well, look it up. Nothing else really of note here. Joey Matthews defeated Mafia. Why did I say Mafia? And then let's see here. For their big show, which I wish I could do what OVW and W actually did, is like send one random guy who's not in a storyline just down here. But anyway, let's see here. Anything really of note? Tag titles were defended. Changes to Lizzie Borden. Nope, nothing really of note. Undercut Trailer Park Trash defeat John Cena again. Okay, sure. And yeah. Oh, so okay. So as far as other stuff that happened, if we go to the news, there's a couple huge shows that happened. So let's just go back to Revolution last week. Okay, so I showed you the All Japan cards. So the next big show was AAA Triple Mania. So let's just go over this show. So we had Kakia 3 and Joe Lider defeating Rising Force and Scorpion Billy Boy in a tables match, which got a 67. Rising Force is Chessman and Cranio, I guess. We had Sabu, Angel Azteca, and Conan defeat Scorpio Jr. and the Urban Gladiators, which is Hysteria, and Jim Neidhart. Sure. But yes, Sabu, this is where Sabu disappeared after he left WCW TV here, is 69. But Felino and Bad Habit defeated Super Calo, Phantasma, and Picudo, and Bad Habit is Limpigo and Volador Jr. Sure. Phantasma is the standout here along with Volador Jr. We had Omega Squad defeating Winning Combination in a tables match for the tag titles in an 81. God, I always forget who is who. Yeah, Winning Combination is Mascara and Psychosis. And Cerebro and El Rachialer are Omega Squad, right? Hold on. Personal info. Nope, it's exactly the other way around because I'm a moron. So, Mascara Squad and Psychosis are your new tag champs. Psychosis 2 got 75 years, so interesting. We had Blue Demon, Silver King, and El Texano defeat Paraguay Jr., helping Psychosis in an 81. Fun stuff. Let's see here. Standout here was Psychosis with an 85. La Parka 2 defeated Charlie Manson in a strap match. Let's see here. But El Zorro defeated Mascara Squad in a first blood match for the AAA Mexican title, which got 81, which is really good considering, yeah. Then we had Hector Graza defeat El Kanek in the first. Okay, that's some bad booking. In an 81. So there we go. And then in our main event, in a huge match, Eddy Guerrero defeated Vampire Warrior. Yes, that is who that is. For the AAA Champions title in 88. So yes, Gangrel main evented a huge AAA show with Hoovy, the match that got an 88 in front of 36,000 people. Welcome to the wacky world this version of reality is. Let's see here then, outside of that, Iron had a show. It was your typical indie show of the time. Chick Fight 8 happened. I sort of killed the women's indie scene, like, before it existed. Let's see here. There's one other big show. Oh, ROH, which is, again, is Ring of Violence. Mike Quackenbush is still the title. He's still a champion. Amazing Red's working there. Trent Acid versus Alex Shelley happened. Rick Michaels, Romeo, and David Flair defeat Dave Mysterio, Jay Lethal, and Subner. Esther Marino is the Wonder Woman champion. I don't even know how the game even activated that. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. And then I think this, right, there's one other that happened today, but New Japan had their Best of the Super Junior show. So, because the only way to make this tournament work correctly, I think, was make it all singles matches, but maybe I might go in and edit that just because this leads to a lot of interesting stuff happened here. Anyway, as far as the actual tournament goes, we had, I want to make sure I get this right. Because, yeah, it was Liger, okay. Liger, Guinness, Hero, Duncan. Okay, so we had Kenzuri Murakami defeating Blitzkrieg, who's doing really well in New Japan, so good for him in his version of reality. And then as part of the Super Juniors tournament, we had Super Dominican defeat Masato Kakihara in a 74. We had Nigel McGuinness defeat Masato Yoshino. I'm sure this happened in Ring of Honor at some point. And in 82, we had Liger defeating Ken Gishin in a friggin' 88, sure. With Chris Hugo defeating Gordon Nanoa in a 76. We had Nashimura defeat Kakihara in a non-tournament match. Nakanishi defeated Wing Kanemaru in a 73. Eugene Nagata defeated Super J in a 76. And then Hase defeated Azuka in a 72. Then in semifinals, Liger defeated Chris Hero in 84. Nigel defeated Super Dominican in 79. We had a Ricky Chosu defeating Ken Shamrock match, which got a 58. Okay. Both these men are too old. And then we had Liger defeated McGuinness in a 97 to win Super Junior. So yes, Jushin Liger and Nigel McGuinness had basically a 5-star match in 2005 in this reality. And then main event, Kazuki Saki defeated Ogawa to retain the IWGP Heavyweight title in a random 86. So that worked out well for them as well. But let's see here. Gaia also had a big show. Let's see here. Anything of note? Sanamura versus Mito Wasika went to a 73. Let's see here. Toyota and Hakudo defeated Nakanishi and Nagayo in a 75. So sort of a Legends match. Plus Momo Nakanishi. And the main event for the white belt basically is Toshi Uematsu retaining her title against Kyuri Suzuki in a very solid 73. Gaia doing Gaia stuff. But that is it for now. Storyline wise, like, oops, let me just go over. Oops, that's the wrong button. I don't know how I got there. Yeah, storyline wise, like Nitro's Against the Darkness at a 74, Chosen Backgrounds is at a 70, Cruiser Stuff's at a 47, Evolution Mystery is at a 66, Expensive Taste is at an 86, Top Guy Stuff's at a 70. Weird. Oh, right, because I just started with a bad match. Right, okay. Then Revolution, we got Beautiful Violence, we got a 57. Booker and Kidman's at a 97. Cash and London's at a 91. Disunion or Disorder's at a 64. Knoble Anderson's at a 93. Revolution Rising's at a 93. Triumvirate Rising's at an 81. King of the Sky's at an 84. And this match, which I'll probably, end or blow off, is at a 76 as well. So Revolution's really coming along as into the pay-per-view. But that's it for now. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like. Comment below what you like and not liking. And of course, subscribe to the channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content. Some wrestling content. Crazy Kings 3. Victoria 3 stuff as well, at least for now. And who knows what else might pop up. But that's it for now. So talk to you later. And adios. Have a good one.